Good morning, my friends. July 19th, 2021, 9:54 a.m. And we're taking a look at the U.S. weather right now. Not too much going on as far as serious weather, unless you're talking about fire weather and the West Coast. Take a look at this fire from 2 days ago. You're going to see the sun setting last night, and now it's dark. Now take a look at these fires right here in Oregon, Northern California, and even overnight last night, this scorcher in Montana. That's a big, bright fire right there. Hopefully seeing some of this cloud cover coming up from the south over the West Coast will help that today, but as we can see, yesterday and the day before was critical for the West Coast. I will show you a county by county chart out in the West Coast to show you exactly where they think these fires are going to go next. And also a few things we're going to cover in this video. Did you feel it? Did you know we had a near 4.2 earthquake right in the dead center of Lake Erie yesterday? Well, it looks like we did, and on the same side of the country out in the Atlantic Ocean, we have a tsunami buoy currently in event mode. We're going to take a look at this as well. And last but not least, I got to give a little shout out to my buddy BPearthwatch, who just did an awesome video, a two-part series, where he covers the possibility of a meteor strike in the ocean in the waters south of New Zealand. I'll let you guys go visit his channel to watch that two-part series, but while looking at this area that he was describing, I made a discovery that's very interesting that took place within a 2-month period. We're going to get right into this in a moment. But first, my friends, I want to take a look at the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. We can see the Atlantic Ocean quiet right now. A lot of sand coming off the west coast of Africa, which is a little easier to see in this graph right here. It's not as potent as it has been, don't get me wrong. So the sand has kind of been calming down the formation of hurricanes. We could see the Caribbean is a little more wide open. We could see some flaring up in this area. Trust me, the hurricanes are coming. And very quickly, we'll check out the Pacific Ocean, and we still have Hurricane Felicia out there, 100-mile-an-hour sustained winds, expected to finally downgrade a little more today, well before reaching any coast of Hawaii. This thing is expected to dip down south of Hawaii, while Guillermo, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, is expected to head north over the island, not even really hitting hurricane strength. We'll see what happens there. And now this was interesting, my friends. It's been a while since we had an earthquake of this size near Lake Erie, but let me just tell you, the USGS did not confirm this quake, but it was confirmed by people, and that's what I go by. Not only that, but we have two websites verifying this. We are on Volcano Discovery right here. This is a snapshot I took from yesterday. You can see right here is the epicenter of the Lake Erie earthquake, almost directly centralized on the border in the middle of Lake Erie, as you can see in this image below. The image above shows you the stats: 4.2 magnitude, very large earthquake for this part of the country, 71 kilometers southeast of Chatham, Ontario, which would put it in the US. Again, that was on volcanodiscovery.com, and now we are over here on another seismic website, CSEMEMSC.org. That's a mouthful, but you can see the earthquake is still posted here from yesterday. So we are verifying this on two different websites. 4.2 Lake Erie, they're calling it an Ohio earthquake. On 7/17/2021, the UTC time for that is 21:02:43. So technically 2 days ago, and I was looking into this yesterday as well. If you guys remember, back in August of 2020, we had a rare situation take place with a 3.2 earthquake beneath westernmost Lake Erie, which also shook southeast Michigan. And it was a fairly shallow quake. It was 5.7 miles. In fact, we covered it here on the channel. Certainly would not let that pass up without covering it. And as we jump over to the USGS and 7 days all magnitude earthquakes, we can see that the USGS decided not to really mess with this one. But we can see our old friend, the experimental explosion, and the earthquake that took place soon after that in South Carolina just 3 days ago. The depth on this apparent earthquake in the middle of Lake Erie was 10 kilometers. That's usually a default depth that they go to when they don't have a specific depth. And one of the providers of the data was the Canadian National Seismic Network, the CNSN, on their BB stations. This was located in Ottawa, Canada. Also recording this quake and giving out information was the USGS/NEIC. So even though we didn't see this on the actual USGS map, a company within the USGS has recognized this as an earthquake in Lake Erie and the United States. So I don't know if they're still working on it to figure out what the deal is, but way too many instruments and too many people picked this up for it to have not happened. We also have this company down here, the Geoforschungszentrum, GFZ, in Potsdam, Germany. I've been putting a lot of time into the seismic activity going on the East Coast, which is unquestionable. It's not that it's not happening. There are plenty of people feeling it. We are seeing these things pop up on charts and then removed from charts, so we're getting the initial data, and I'm trying to just put together an idea of what may be causing it. If it's a long-term cycle of the Earth that humans are causing, I just don't know, but I am certainly very interested in it. I don't claim to have all the answers to this stuff whatsoever. That's why I enjoy sharing this stuff with you guys. guys and getting different opinions to find out exactly what is going on. As far as our activated buoy out in the Atlantic Ocean, we don't see these too often. They do happen. Oftentimes they are technical glitches with the buoy, and I think that's what we're looking at here. We have a little bit of a jump or change in the depth, the normal depth that these buoys measure. They measure weather, wind speed, wave height, all sorts of things, and that's why they're out in the ocean. That's why we have so many of them. And we can see we have a pretty consistent tide flow going on here, and within that tide flow we had some sort of disturbance. It could have been a shark bite. It could be the ground actually giving out and moving the solid foundation that these buoys are chained to at the bottom of the ocean. There's many factors at play, and because this wasn't a huge change in water depth, I don't think we have too much to worry about here. And I almost forgot, how about this 5.1 earthquake off the coast of Northern California yesterday? Take a look at this. Trolley, California, 5.1 magnitude. Look how many people felt this quake. Only 733, and that's what's interesting to me. And then I took a look at the depth, and that was a fairly deep earthquake compared to the normal depths we get. We usually get more shallow depths here in the California area, and it actually raises a little concern when you see deep, bigger quakes, because naturally, based on history, you usually see bigger, shallower earthquakes after deeper earthquakes. I'm not saying that's exactly what will happen, but based on history, that has happened many times, and we know there's something going on in California and around the Yellowstone area. This entire chunk of the U.S. is going through a big, big change. We have swarms going on, and at some point, it's not really going to matter what's posted on a chart or not for us to know about. We're going to really just feel this happening. Last but not least, as I explained in the beginning of the video, on Google Earth, I made a little discovery, but I want to thank BPearthwatch, another amazing channel that I watch on a daily basis, and he put out a two-part series, as you could see right here yesterday, about the Great Comet. I'll let you guys go in here and learn what it's all about, but during this, he's talking about a section of land south of New Zealand where a possible meteor had struck back in the 1400s, taking out a fleet of ships. And basically the video is about how a giant tsunami hit these islands down south of New Zealand. Now, I'm not going to get into all that stuff, but I want to show you something I saw here in the mountains of Stewart Island. And this island, BP was showing areas in which were affected by a tsunami in the 1400s. And I noticed this signature in the mountain. It almost looks like some sort of landslide or a rock cutout. So I get to this area and I notice it's some sort of cutout or a landslide of some sort. It doesn't look like it was any sort of fire. There's no burning going on here, but it looked fresh to me. It looked like it was kind of new, and you can backtrack in time here on Google Earth to different frames and pictures of certain areas. And if you go to the most current time in December of 2020, this cutout is very much here. I'm not sure if this is snow, ice, and rock here, but again, it looks like some sort of landslide that took place. So I went back in time to see if I could find a point in time when this thing wasn't here, and this is where I finally figured it out. So we're here at the date of January of 2013, and you can see the landslide is here, these fallen down trees, whatever this was, whatever caused this to happen. And now if we backtrack one picture, which takes us 2 months prior to December of 2012, we can see that this landslide did not take place at this time. So I was able to figure out that between December of 2012 and 2 months later, in February of 2013, something happened on this mountain that caused this signature. Now, we've posted on things like this before on Google Earth, trying to figure out if we had some sort of meteor strikes or other weather anomalies to take place. And it's hard to see exactly what happened here, but I thought it would be interesting to take a look at, especially since BP Earthwatch is showing us this area as potentially a historical area that took a hit from a meteor back in the 1400s. All right, my friends, I know that was a lot of information. I wish I could make individual videos on all this, and I will do stuff like that in the future, but once we get behind a day, I like to catch up and give you all the information we have, so we're not feeling like we missed anything. So I will be back later on or tomorrow with another video. Any questions or concerns or videos you want to submit and have featured on the channel, please feel free to reach out to me. All of the contact info is in the description boxes of the video. Thank you all so much. I will talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.